Welcome to the Realness Radio podcast. I'm your host, King Shrek, with my co-host, Tony Tone in the house.
What's up?
What's going down? What are we talking about today?
We got some interesting topics today. We're talking about freezing yourself for the future.
That
we're
future
also
free.
talking
That ziplock tight.
and we're also revisiting some older conversations from podcast past.
The podcast pass.
Yeah.
You know, a little coming to America, a few interesting topics about the marijuana industry. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one, so stay tuned after the intro music.
I'm for real. I'm for real.
Realer than real.
You're now tuned into the Realness Radio podcast.
I got you stuck off the realness.
Realness.
Y'all feel me? Y'all feel. Y'all definitely feel.
Yeah, so just came from the baby shower. Yes, you asked me if I was the only black guy there.
Yeah.
Definitely the only black guy there.
There was some brown, though, because Brittany's half.
Oh, there was definitely a lot of
She's
brown.
half beaner, right?
There's definitely a lot of brown. She's
Oh.
Italian.
Oh, she's Italian.
She's Italian, I believe.
Where does the
uh,
Fernandez come from?
I think her husband. She's married.
Oh, is he? I thought he was white.
But he is. But,
Oh, okay.
you know, the Spaniards colonized a lot of things. So, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
Nah, they were.
Actually, my cousin looks straight white,
There we go. Now you're talking like a big boy.
like a Soto.
There you go. Well, I mean, we did know a white Soto.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, my cousin's blue-eyed, blonde-haired.
get up on
You
that.
couldn't tell he was anything other than white.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like it was pretty cool. Sticked around for a while. Went over there to talk to her, say hey,
Yeah,
show face, show some love.
that's tight.
'Cause she's awesome to me. I'm not a big baby
Yeah,
shower dude.
you and Britt
but-
are getting pretty close, huh?
you know, we've always been pretty cool since she started there on that side, and
Yeah.
you know now
But
that we
you're
work
working together,
hand in hand,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. We definitely got a bit closer.
that's tight.
We get to talk more and shit.
Mhm.
So it was nice, man. And like her, she does jujitsu, and like she's like a high level jujitsu.
Oh, yeah.
like she's up there.
Well, her and her man are pretty dope.
Both,
Yeah.
both of them, they're up there. And everyone there, they're like the jujitsu friends are there, and everyone's hanging out. They were really nice, man. Everyone was really cool.
Oh yeah, dope.
So it was a nice time, and Sabrina was there, so I talked to her for a while. We had a little work corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It
got
was-
you. I got you.
You know how that goes, where you don't
Mhm.
really know too many of the people, so you kind of
Yeah.
got your little.
You're like, hey, I know you. Want to
Really-
talk?
You were like, hey, it's us now. This
Yeah.
is a thing here.
How's your soda?
You know what I mean? Is this delicious? Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, you got the yeah, the chips.
The chips are delicious,
chips
aren't
are
they?
delicious.
I don't know who made the salsa, but I like
This
it.
weather sure is hot,
Dude,
isn't it?
You know, it's quite of a hot day outside.
I am
you know,
parched.
the traffic is crazy. I fucking hate small talk.
I know.
Anybody who truly knows me knows I fucking hate small talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great time, and then here doing the pod, dude. Here on the pod.
You're on the pod, dude.
You know, we're live on the pod. We've been podding for a couple minutes now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
it feels good. You know,
it feels good to pod.
it really does.
I don't know if you guys out there are podding, but if you're not, get your life together.
Yeah, start podding.
Start podding.
Right, meow.
Right, meow. Yo, so now that we're on the pod, one thing I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Bring it.
quickly finish a conversation that popped up a couple weeks ago, and a listener wanted us to finish this conversation.
Okay.
So you had brought up that you watched Coming to America, and you
Mhm.
didn't like it. Coming to America 2.
Yes.
He's seen the first one. He likes it. Coming to America 2. Now, I watched it.
I know,
loved
and I don't know why I never followed up with that. I was waiting to ask you about that.
it.
What'd
Was
you
good.
think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Now, I'm going to say this because I watched it with my mom. I watched it a couple times. It's got
I think it probably appeals more to the older generation, though.
and it's going to, I think it's going to also appeal more to blacks. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like
Yeah,
that
for sure.
cultural thing in there. But I think what the problem was with the movie is that the storyline is kind of weak. Like the storyline itself
Mhm.
is a
it
bit
felt
weak.
gimmicky a little bit, didn't it?
It was a bit gimmicky, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a strong story. It was a bit of a weak story.
Mhm.
So I did get that, but what they were doing is they're just throwing a bunch of nostalgia at you. That's all they did. It was essentially for all of us who are that generation to see all the characters, and they're like, you know, that one of the old dudes was like, "Oh, that boy good," and we're like, "Oh, he said the thing. He
Yeah.
said the thing." You know what I mean? I think it was more about that.
Yeah. I just
Then
felt
it
like
ended up it
Sorry.
could have used a better storyline.
Yeah, I just feel like it was almost overly commercialized or some maybe like too pop culture-ish, you know
Oh,
what I'm
I
saying?
love that portion of it.
Yeah, but like I don't know, there's some just great scenes in the old ones that I'm just really nostalgic about. Like
Yeah.
like the fast food scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are great scenes. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it just appeals more to black. But I love the first one. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I just didn't care for that new one.
Oh,
But
well, and I think it was just, it threw a lot of like culturally specific things like music, artists, people, the way that they're talking, saying things, and like some of it's that. But
Mhm.
again, what it comes down to, it shouldn't be about that when it comes to movies at all. Anyway, what it comes down to is it was kind of a weak story.
yeah.
It was just overall kind of a weak story.
You get what I mean, though. Now, yeah, like
You know what I mean?
they're adapting off of that old, which I thought could have been really well done,
It could have been really well done.
but it wasn't.
It
yeah.
fell flat.
Yeah,
it kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
Like the actual story of the thing fell flat. Like
Mhm.
everything that happens in the story
Yeah.
and the characters are really good, but the actual story kind of fell flat. You know what I mean? They're just too busy throwing people at you where you could have done a little better, with having someone fix the issues in the writer's room.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my mom's beef with it. She like didn't enjoy it that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think I enjoyed it much more than she did.
Yeah.
So
I think it's even kind of similar to the new. I want to say it's fairly new, but the Selena show that came out.
Yeah, sounds
You know
like
what I'm saying? A lot of people hated the show.
Sounds like
it almost felt like they kind of whitewashed Selena a little bit.
That's kind of what I was getting from the reviews.
Yeah.
I never watched it yet. I didn't watch it, but
It's
also
really good. I
really.
liked it a lot.
I think they could have picked better actors. You know what I mean, to personify the role, because that was a big complaint. I kind of got that where it's like, you could have picked.
She's not the best Selena.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Where she's
fine as hell.
Yeah, she's probably a great actress and she's beautiful, but from what the reviews were that I'm reading, it just wasn't what the community would have loved to see portrayed for Selena.
Right, for sure. Because the original Selena felt very like Tex-Mex. It felt very Sonoran. This one felt like more like, I don't know, middle class California almost.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I don't. For me, that when I
Right.
watched it, yeah, it just gave you a different feel, which I don't think is
completely
necessarily
different vibe.
bad. It's a different perspective, which was fun, but maybe that's more true
Right.
to her in reality. I don't know. I don't know
Right.
the person, but yeah.
You seen the world's giving the little Nas X shit because of his new shoe?
Oh, the blood shoe, huh?
Yeah, the demon shoe.
The demon shoe.
The demon
yeah.
shoe.
Well, I think
They're getting sued by Nike.
yeah, because he's going through a third party, right?
Yep.
That's actually
They recreated the shoe.
recreating it. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like a knockoff.
right.
So they going through this lawsuit right now. Like Nike's like, that ain't no Air Max, and they just
Right. I don't know. I
I
just
don't know. It's crazy, right?
yeah. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. It feels very similar to moves that a lot of people make, which is kind of going on this like controversial av and getting clout that way. And it's a good move. I mean,
I
as
wonder
far
if that
as
was
financially. I think.
I wonder if that was the thing to catch more eyes
Mm-hmm.
than it was about whatever he's doing.
Right.
Because I have no idea right now, because I don't really follow him much.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea what he's doing. But like, I wonder, like, is this part of his shtick?
Mm-hmm.
Is this just a publicity move, or is this something that he's like, yeah, I'm this guy? You know what I mean?
It could be kind of like maybe a Miley Cyrus thing, like, hey, I was this and now I'm this, and
Well, they are
it's like,
buddies.
yeah.
They
Are they really?
Oh yeah, they're
Oh, I didn't
really
know
good
that.
friends.
Oh shit.
Like they're all over each other's advertisement. They're like really good friends.
Oh, she probably gamed him then.
Yeah, because
She was
once
like, do something
probably did,
controversial. You know what I'm
probably
saying?
because once he came on the scene, she kind of like took him under her wing. She was seen with him a lot. She was doing stuff, so I can imagine so.
Well, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like her brand has fell off. She's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was funny because it was like trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this all about? And then I started looking up into it, and all it's got these legal briefs about these knockoff Nikes, and everyone's mad. And
Yeah.
then all these religious people are like, you're not allowed to have the devil and blah, blah, blah. And then I kind of like, I laughed at it, right? Because then a bunch of people are like, you can't have the devil, and he's giving the devil a lap dance and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then like get in their car and be like, Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah,
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, isn't that a bit contradictory?
I also do see a little bit of the outrage of it because sneakerheads love Air Maxes, bro. And then you're gonna just
see, I can understand
you're
that
just
part.
gonna, like,
you just put a
tarnish
bootleg
the
out
whole
there. Yeah,
fucking
you're gonna do a
Air
bootleg.
Max line. Nah.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. I feel that part. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, you just put up you didn't even get with, like, you're a huge celebrity. You didn't even get with the company
Yeah.
to make a shoe. You went to a bootlegger. I could see if you're mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, just because a little dude got some hoochie mama braids on giving the devil a lap dance, let that nigga give the devil a lap dance.
Oh,
I
I
don't give
know.
a fuck.
But it's funny too because I see these memes on Facebook, like kind of speaking towards that, and
Right.
it's like showing South Park when Saddam Hussein
Yeah.
was with the devil
Yeah,
laying down.
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Like,
when he was in bed with him?
yeah, dude. Like, we've seen so much worse shit than this.
Completely.
People are just getting so high and mighty on their
they get-
controversy stuff. It's just like
They love
just
it.
relax. You know?
People love that controversy
Mhm.
stuff. I mean, dude, look at any Slipknot videos. Way worse than that.
Yeah.
And, like, I like Slipknot.
Mhm.
Love Slipknot. You know what I mean? Get, like, a dope, trying to think of a dope band that has, like, really crazy videos.
ICP, bro.
They just shouldn't be allowed in the first place, okay?
Yeah.
ICPs just should not be a thing.
No, Marilyn Manson. You got
Yeah.
like crazy shit like that.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
I think he's getting canceled here too.
They're canceling about something in him and his wife, girlfriend, that he's been abusing her or some shit.
Yeah, and past women
Yeah.
from the past. Are
Yeah,
coming
women
up
from the
too.
past. He's got a bunch of accusers. I'm not even going to touch that one because I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have not done my research on Manson, and I was trying to bring that guy back to the limelight before he got canceled. So I don't know if I need to jump on this one at all.
Oh yeah. Well, in light of like revisiting a podcast from a couple weeks ago, I actually wanted to revisit a little bit as well because I think it was 2 episodes ago we were talking about space, right?
Right.
And you basically inferred I was a little bit too old to be on Make-A-Wish Foundation, which I totally disagree with, but no. So it was like,
I love that, by the way.
dude, that was so funny.
That
When
was
I heard
hilarious.
it, I was like, that's the perfect snippet because it was like just me cracking up at the end. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant, bro.
One of the homies is like, why he can't make a wish?
Yeah. Why you gotta be too old to make a wish? Shit was funny.
I wasn't even gonna reply and be like, no, nigga, Make a Wish Foundation. He's too old for Make a Wish Foundation.
But if you haven't seen or heard the episode, I'm basically talking about, if I had the one wish, like before I died, I would love to be able to go out into space, right?
Yeah.
So based on some new information that I've just received, I may not have to wait till I get cancer and need a wish.
Okay.
I may be able to cryogenically freeze myself and wait for that time to happen and then be brought back to life.
Oh,
And,
okay. So I did look up the article about that.
Yeah, Alcor.
Yeah, and I started looking that stuff up. It's weird and it's interesting. It's interesting as fuck.
Right.
They have 170 bodies right now.
They have 170 bodies.
170 bodies and like 80 something plus animals and cat heads.
Yeah, and you can take a tour through this place.
And it's in Phoenix, guys.
It's in Scottsdale.
It's in Scottsdale.
Yes.
And the reason why they chose that is because Arizona doesn't have natural disasters, so it's unlikely that those people would be damaged during their long
you're not
sleep.
going to lose the building or whatever. Yeah, hopefully.
And also there's a lot of what do they use? They use I forgot what they use to freeze them, but they have a lot of that in Phoenix.
Yeah, so actually I can even break this down for us because I've been looking at this quite a bit, and it's a trip. It's blowing my mind, but basically basically they have this whole on the website, they have this whole breakdown of the ideal procedure.
Mhm.
So if we have a few minutes, I want to just go through them really quick because they're pretty interesting to me.
Go for it.
So it says, ideally, for you to get frozen, first of all, you need $200,000 to do this. There's a few different options. You can freeze your brain, your head.
And tell
for
them exactly what you're talking about here.
Yeah, so like you can freeze your brain and your and everything in your head for about $80,000, and these are like the programs that they have.
And it's to freeze yourself so that later on in life, if they figure out whatever medical ailment is wrong with you, if they figure out a cure and a way to thaw you out,
Yes.
they can do both.
And
that's what he's talking about.
And that's
Continue.
actually the crazy part is they don't actually know how to thaw you out at the moment. They only know how to
keep
preserve
you frozen. Yeah, they can keep you preserved.
They're just hopeful for the future that one day we will find out how to bring people back and thaw them out, and hopefully have the technology to like either replace organs or do this or that to you.
Go through it. Let's see.
But yeah, so here's the ideal procedure. So, ideally, they would like 1 to 7 days before the person dies to have actual team members on standby. So it says the quality of a cryopreservation depends on how soon the procedure can begin. Preferably, a cryonics team is waiting near a dying person up to a week in advance, so they may begin almost immediately after cardiac arrest. So there's this like gray area where, not a gray area, but it's a point at which we have been declaring people dead. Back in the day, it used to be once your heart stops, you're dead, you're gone. Now it's a little bit more prolonged, and even, it's even further than that now, because we're finding that we can bring people back after a very long time of their heart being stopped. The dying process is a long thing. So it's pretty crazy. And then basically at legal death, which is the next step, the cryopreservation process should begin as soon as dying person experiences cardiac arrest and can be declared legally dead.
Here, put it up in front of you like this.
So while the patient is legally dead at this point, they're still in the early parts of the dying process with cells and organs still viable. Sorry, my reading skills are not up to par here.
Trust me, mine's are worse.
So 0 to 2 hours after death is called stabilization. And at this point, blood circulation and breathing are artificially restored temporarily to protect the brain, and so protective medications can be administered intravenously. The patient is then cooled in an ice water bath, and their blood is replaced with an organ preservation solution. So they're actually draining you of your blood, and they're putting in a new solution in your body to preserve your organs, because when they freeze you at that point, it's protecting your body from being like frostbitten or over freezing, I guess.
Wow. Yeah. So they're basically they're turning you into like a radiator.
Yeah. Yeah, they're basically making you a Wolverine, throwing that new shit in you. After that, next step is called transport. The cooled patient is carefully transported to Alcor's operating room in Arizona. Many Alcor members choose to retire and or enter hospice near Alcor for shorter transport time and better procedural outcome. So they're actually like staying really near, like in preparation for this.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty trippy. Next step, perfusion. Cryoprotectants are perfused into the bloodstream to reduce and even prevent freezing. Uncontrolled freezing would cause damage to the blood vessels, brain, and other organs. Perfusion prepares the patient for cryopreservation. Then you go into deep cooling. Patient is cooled to negative 196 degrees Celsius, which cryopreserves the patient in a solid state. The patient is now protected from deterioration for theoretically thousands of years, and the dying process has been effectively stopped.
In that readout that you're reading, do they tell you how they, in what position they keep the body? Because I found that interesting. You should definitely tell people that.
No, actually, I didn't. You could, go for it.
Oh, you didn't see?
I've seen pictures of somebody like laying in this vat of like rubber balls.
So what I found out they did from reading into the article is they hang you upside down.
Oh, wow.
In the event that the solution starts to come out or evaporate or anything, that the only part that would be exposed would be your feet and not your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the important part, right?
That's the important part. So they hang you upside down.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So if you lose your feet, you probably get some new feet for sure.
Yeah, because it's in the future. They're like, hey, well, fuck it. We can get them robotic feet, but we probably need the dome piece. So, yeah that's crazy.
That is a trip.
I was like, whoa.
Let's see. Next step, long-term care. Patient is stored in a vacuum-insulated metal dewar at sub-freezing temperatures using liquid nitrogen.
That's what it is, liquid nitrogen.
There you go, yeah. Liquid nitrogen is topped regularly, and the dewars require no electricity. The patient will remain in long-term care until revival becomes possible. That's the craziest part, that these people are basically throwing the dice like... It's not even the throw of a dice. It's a flip of a coin. It's either like, I know I can die and be gone forever and I could just die, or I can try and preserve myself, and there's a chance that I may be brought back in the future. So it's
in some form.
Yeah, it's kind of a trip.
It is kind of a trip, because if you're already at that point in life, hey, why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not? If there's a way that you could be brought back and you really didn't want to leave this earth at this time, hey man, this could be
Yeah.
your thing.
Yes.
And they're free trips so your family can come and see you.
Yeah.
And you can get walkthroughs. And what's crazy is none of it's like electric or stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
it's all like pump old style pumps. It's like almost off the grid type of thing.
That's a trip.
So shit happens. You're still in your popsicle, buddy.
That's so crazy. The very last step, it says future revival. And it says no cryonics organization can currently revive a cryopreserved patient. But we at Alcor have confidence revival may be possible. Nanotechnology and other future medical technologies are expected to have very broad capabilities. So that's the breakdown on the website. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm glad we went through it. But it begs a question to me in my mind, because I've had this question with a lot of people. I've always been into the idea of the singularity, people merging with technology and be able to live forever. But I also have met people who are like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to stay on this earth? And I don't know if it's because of religious beliefs or personal beliefs or things like that, but it's got to be kind of crazy to, if you can live for 500 years after you're woken up, would you really, is that something that you'd really want to do if you really thought about it,
Well, I will let you know right after this break. What up, y'all? Let me tell you about another product I really like. This new thing I just found called Tappy. If you're an artist, if you're a business person, if you're anybody with anything that you want to share with people, maybe you're a designer, get this. It's a new business card. It's electronic, no paper, no thousands of cards in your pocket, just one. Anytime anybody asks, hey, what do you do, man? Pull it out, tap it on their phone. All the information's right there. Tappy. Go to our website at therealnessradiopodcast.com. Go all the way to the bottom and look at Tappy. Press get one, and you can order yours right now. Trust me, it's something you're interested in. Tappy. And we're back. I don't know if that's something that I personally would want to do. I guess it would be more of a question for later on in life when you get to that age. You know what I mean? I think that the reason why people would or would not want to do it is based on life circumstance. You know what I mean? What if you're 80-something years old and most of your friends and family died, due to old age, and they're not participating in this thing, so they won't be there, on the other side, so there's a lot of reasons why
For sure.
I feel like it could play a part, you know what I mean? And some people, they felt like, hey man, I've done it. I live my life, this place is crazy and it's time for me to go on to my maker, or go on
And I get that.
be a part of the universe. So I think that would be some people's trepidation. I couldn't really say right now. Part of me would say like, yeah, dude, as a younger person, my head goes, yeah, man, I want to kind of like live forever and do all that shit, and fucking vampire, type thing. But then it's like, when you really start to think of it, it's like everyone you know and love
Could
dies
get real
10
lonely.
times over.
Yeah.
It can get like real lonely. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that technology is out there. And if those people are still kicking, you know what I mean, here in the future, after all of us are still gone and they're cryogenically frozen and they're still there, you know what I mean? I wonder what they're going to have to say about, what's going on. Some of those people would have been out frozen and Donald Trump was still the president. I mean, they would have come out and it would have been a whole new world, dude.
What movie do you think started this conversation? What movie that I was talking about with another person think started this conversation?
Shit. That is a good question. What movie that started this conversation? So it's something, I'm trying to think of a good movie.
Think of 90s cinema.
First thing that comes to my head is Total Recall, but I feel like that's not
Very
the answer.
similar. You're close.
I feel like that's
You're
not
very
the answer.
close. Yeah.
I can't.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Remember?
Oh, that's a fucking good one.
Yeah, he comes back
That's
after,
a fucking
after a
good one.
cryo freeze. Yeah.
That's a good one. Oh man, I mean, it goes off of that science conversation we were having. I mean, we are here in the future a little more than we thought we were.
Yeah.
Because you don't hear about these projects all the time, and it's like crazy. Now, I want to give a little shout out to New York, because y'all just legalized weed, baby. Like,
Smoking that weeds.
yeah,
Snurfing them derbs.
Snurfing them derbs. Welcome to the team, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I see y'all out there getting high as fuck. And shout outs to y'all. I know my cousins out there in New York. Nigga, I hope you getting high, shouty. If you're not, holla at your boy. I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. It's
dope. It's coming around.
It's more and more and more. So
Mm-hmm.
it's time for the federal government to get their heads out of their ass
they
and
just
just
need to do it
legalize this
already.
bad
Just
boy.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Everybody, almost the entire, 90% of the union, all of our states have decided to have some kind of program, whether it's medical, recreational, or CBD. I mean, it's time to make this happen. The federal government, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all don't like making money? Because I'm pretty sure y'all do.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just gearing up to like, well, if we jump this off real quick, we might, maybe there's like an agenda to it.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it has to be some way that they're going to take advantage of the modern, cannabis movement.
Playing some kind of long game.
Yeah, exactly. Because we
Playing some
don't
kinda
have
long
the
game.
power to delay and do all these things. All we can do is hope that it gets legalized.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And
Right.
so it's, I don't know.
Hey, it's a big step for, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a more of a liberal city, but it's still a big step for the state, you know what I mean? For them to do that. And hey, it's going to help a whole lot of people, and it's going to take some of that drug crime down. So,
Exactly.
bruh, smoke it up. Smoke
And let
weed
some
every
people
day.
out of jail for fucking having a dub sack on them. You know what I'm saying? That's what
That's what counts.
That's the thing that bothers me the most. I think about this
Right.
is there's people sitting in jail
Right.
while there's other people making millions of dollars off
Right.
the industry. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And it's hypocrisy. It's
Right.
it's ridiculous.
And, we'll do it on another podcast. We're talking about jobs. I worked in a prison,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw people who were doing time for stupid shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
that I now have a job in the industry doing. You know what I mean? And I move way more weight per day than they did. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's the federal government needs to change that specifically for that reason, because this is our taxpaying money
Mm-hmm.
for these low level crimes when there's some crazy motherfuckers out here shooting shit up, which recently happened in our world.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? We need to refocus our efforts and less on the weed.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you let a few more of these motherfuckers get high, we might have a little less trepidation all over the place.
This is a little offshoot, but the New York thing kind of got me thinking about an interaction that we had today with one of the patients at work.
Yeah.
Dude comes up to the window, about to order some bud, and he's like, "Yo, man, I'm from Maine, and we got that fire, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to see, what y'all have for me, what you can show me, you know what I'm saying?" And the consultant telling me this, the first thing that clicks in my head, and I tell him, I'm like, since when did Maine become the standard
Maine.
of bud?
I'm like, what y'all niggas got? Snow crabs?
Yeah,
Y'all ain't got no motherfucking weed out in Maine. Y'all got.
And someone said like, oh, the soil is rich and the air is nice. I'm like, what does that have to do with indoor growing? You know?
Yeah,
what
what's
I'm
that
saying?
got to do? Fuck Maine. Y'all got some good duck shoes and some boat shoes, nigga.
Yeah.
Y'all make good white people.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did Maine become the barometer of weed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I come from I come from Indiana, and we got this fire. It's,
Yeah,
nigga,
dog.
what?
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 You ever been to the Southwest,
Yeah.
the West, or whatever?
Out here in Kansas,
Yeah.
in the middle of this farm, we got this. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, have you guys ever been to California? They have weed that I just don't even believe in anymore.
No.
Like, is this shit real?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all motherfuckers is on another level.
We do have some 38% fucking 22 red in the house, though. That's pretty
Do we
crazy.
really?
That's the highest I've seen so far.
That's the highest I would have seen in the last 2 years easily.
Yeah, 38.
Are you fucking
It's
serious?
the shred 22 from 22 red.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's going to go fast.
That's gonna go crazy. Y'all better go get it while you can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wonder if what method of testing they do.
Mhm.
If they do similar testing to ours,
Right.
whether that's the stuff that you're going to actually consume,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's similar levels to what the actual bud is, which means you're still going to burn some off when you apply fire.
Yeah.
However, you said 38?
38.
you're still going to be in the high
Even if
20s.
you burn off 8% of that,
you're still going to be in the high 20s and or 30s.
And you know as well as I do, and very aware of testing. You can test a bud from the top part of the cola that's
And
near
different.
near the light, and that's going to have a higher THC content than a bud like in the bottom
Correct.
portion. You know what I'm saying? That could be a 17% bud.
Yep.
So it's all don't take testing. Take testing with a grain of salt, because it's not necessarily you're not going to necessarily be smoking a 38% bud, but
not all the time. Yeah, and that's a good thing to say, because testing does. It's better to know more about what kind of testing they do, so you can make a better decision just going off. Because people, we've been in the industry so long. You see a lot of people who mainly go off these test results and like, this is this. And you're like, dude, yeah, sometimes that counts, but sometimes that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You can get something that's fucking 12%. You just really like the terpenes. You're going to be high as fuck, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I've had 16% do-si-do that smacked harder than a 23%, straight up.
It's just those terpenes worked with you. They felt bomb. That's what you needed for the day. You know what I mean?
And if you're looking at testing,
setting too.
Yeah, you're looking at testing, you need to make sure that all the nutrients are flushed out, because you're just going to smoke it and get a amino headache. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. It's so many levels to it, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
When people just come in and they got these blanket statements, like, man, I just went dancing, blah blah blah. You're like, all right,
yeah,
cool,
but
man.
I feel much better selling a $60 eighth to somebody when it's at 38% than I do when it's at 17 or 12.
Yeah, because because you're a human, and you're not gonna want to sit there and give them the ye old highway robbery.
Right. Oh, I take people off of flour all day. I'm like,
Amen.
oh, you ordered that 7%? Here, let me guide you a little bit.
All day.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I do love that we at the shop that we work at, we pride ourselves on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's always been a big thing.
We're not gonna give you no bunk. I'm not letting you walk out and say that I sold you some whack ass shit. That's not my get down. So I like that people are honest, because it's better for the patient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's better for the person, and it's better for my reputation.
Absolutely.
So you know what I mean? That's crazy. Well, looks like we did a good little chunk of time today, man. We're getting here in the back half. You guys are enjoying the podcast. Please comment, like, subscribe, share to your friends. Tell everyone about it. Reach out. You guys know what's popping. Holler at your boy. I am on Superior Shrek at Instagram. And my boy here.
My name is Tony Lopez, also known as Prolific Pappy. Hit me up.
Yeah, man. Get at us. And thanks for listening. We out.